What you're about to see is incredible. A set of videos that will turn your night into a nightmare full of terror and mysticism. Because my name is Leonor Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. Today we present 10 horror videos that will make you sleep with the lights on. Number 9. We start this collection with a simply shocking video. A young woman was recording her dog while she played quietly at home, until from one moment to the next, the animal stops completely, fixing its gaze on one point invisible to the camera. Its posture changes, and for no apparent reason, he steps back in fear, as if something were there. What happened next, until now, has no explanation. Observe.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Did you notice that? Did you notice that claw-shaped shadow? A strange claw-shaped shadow seems to try to reach the dog, causing the animal to flee in terror. We might think that it is a light effect, perhaps a shadow casted from some object in the room. But what object could generate such a threatening shape? And why, right at that moment, does the dog seem to perceive something odd? Then notice how he goes to sniff that exact spot. If we rule out the possibility of a simple play of lights, we are only left with the most disturbing hypothesis of all. Are we perhaps witnessing the manifestation of something that escapes our understanding? What do you think happens in this video? Coincidence, optical illusion, or a true paranormal presence? Let me know in the comments. Number 8.
Guys, masarap mag-explore dito.
The following video takes us to a sighting that has given a lot to talk about on social media, especially on Instagram, where several users have shared this strange and fascinating footage. We are located on the coast of Antofagasta, Chile, the afternoon of March 22, 2025, the moment in which a witness manages to capture with his camera the presence of an elongated and luminous object on the horizon, image that has surprised many.
Sabi na tayo, gabi na. Hindi ako magpagabi dito, nakatakot.
The most striking thing about this sighting is the intense light that runs through its entire structure, continuously, giving it a completely unusual appearance. The theories in the comments did not take long to appear. Some suggest that it could be a helicopter reflecting the last rays of sun. Others believe it is the deck of a ship illuminated by particular atmospheric conditions. There are even those who claim that it is some type of experimental drone or military technology. But the truth is that none of these explanations seem to completely fit. The cylindrical shape of the object, its immense luminosity, and the fact that it remains suspended without showing signs of propellers or visible propulsions leave us with a much more disturbing possibility. What if we are facing an authentic, unidentified flying object? Could this be the recording of a ship of extraterrestrial origin flying over the coast of Chile? Or is there a more conventional explanation that we haven't considered yet? A clip that without a doubt has been an excuse for the start of an intense debate. Number 7. In this position, we find a truly shocking case, a video captured by a police officer's body camera that could be one of the most disturbing evidence of the existence of paranormal entities. It all begins with an officer who responds to a call at a hotel where a woman with Native American features claims to be being harassed by a strange presence. The officers manage to convince the administration to let her spend the night, with the purpose of finding safer accommodation for her the next day. But shortly after, they are called back to the scene. It is at that moment when the inexplicable happens. Pay attention.
Hi.
Yeah, Shane's gotta go.
How are you? Do you have your ID with you?
I don't.
What's your name?
Irene.
Irene. What's your last name, Irene?
Bajard Wilson.
Can you spell that for me?
Big Disney princess, just so you know.
Is that right? Who are you?
I'm the voice of Pocahontas.
Really?
Yeah, you're gonna find me in your thing right now.
Why would I do that?
Because I am a 53-year-old Native American woman with no.
Did you notice it? Just before the woman began to run desperately towards the officer, the camera captures a dark shadow emerging from the ground. A strange flash of darkness that appears for an instant and disappears with a quick movement, as if a group of shadows were growing in spurts from the ground. Could it be a simple failure in the lighting of a place? A camera error or some visual effect caused by the environment? A camera error or some visual effect caused by the environment? Those could be logical explanations, but what is truly disturbing is the woman's reaction. Well, she doesn't hesitate for a second. She ran directly towards the police officers as if she knew exactly what she was seeing. The curious thing is that the woman already said that she was being harassed by a strange creature, and in Native American culture, especially among some northern tribes such as the Navajos, there is talk of the existence of mythical creatures similar to living shadows, spirits that inhabit the threshold between this world and the other. According to certain beliefs, these entities can grow from the ground as a living state, especially in places where pain and spiritual rupture has occurred. Is it possible that this shadow is really the entity that has been stalking her? Or is there another explanation we haven't considered yet? Let me know what you think. Number 6. What you will see in this video will leave you completely perplexed. A recording that has left more than one with goosebumps. And then until now, no one has been able to explain with certainty. A group of workers were carrying out cleaning tasks in the sewage system when suddenly, strange noises began to come from one of the underground ducts. Thinking that it could be a trapped animal, or worse still, someone who had gotten inside, they decided to remove the manhole cover to investigate. They never imagined what they were going to find.
Se lo juro que había algo ahí.
Nos devolvemos.
Créame que yo no lo hubiera llamado. No hubiera visto algo. Es que tú la pasando por acá y esa vuelta está destapada.
No, si regresamos.
Ahí ya la parte al... ¡Pero si lo vi! Se lo juro que había algo ahí.
Nos devolvemos.
Créame que yo no lo hubiera llamado. No hubiera visto algo. Es que tú la pasando por acá y esa vuelta está destapada.
No, si regresamos.
Ahí ya la parte al... ¡Pero si lo vi!
On the other side of the hole, a creepy face appears for a brief moment. A pale face with blurred features reaching an inhumane level that made the workers retreat in terror? Could it simply be a pareidolia, an illusion caused by the light and shadows of the tunnel? Or perhaps could we be seeing a simple montage? The revelation of this footage leaves us with a disturbing question. Are we facing proof of an unknown creature lurking in the sewers? Or is it an entity of paranormal origin? The truth is that since that day, the workers in the area have been marked by the experience, fearing to encounter again what the camera captured. But tell me, what do you think appeared in that dark tunnel? Comment below. Number 5. I have seen this video dozens of times, and it caught my attention. That's why I wanted to share it with you to see if together we can find an explanation. The video was captured from the beach, where a man decides to record a flock of ducks passing near the sea. Everything seems completely normal until, from one moment to the next, the ducks simply disappear. There's no splashing water. There's no sign of submersion. There's nothing. It's as if they have vanished into thin air. Now, what could have happened here? A possible logical explanation is that the ducks quickly entered the water, and due to some type of reflection on the surface, blended into the seabed, becoming practically invisible to the camera. We could also consider that the low quality of the video caused the ducks to get lost in the image, generating an optical illusion. But if we rule out these possibilities, we are left with a much more disturbing option. What if this is proof of a failure in reality? An incident in which something went wrong, and the ducks simply ceased to exist within the frame of the recording. An incident in which something went wrong, and the ducks simply ceased to exist within the frame of the recording. We have a whole series that goes deep into this topic, and we have shown some really surprising clips. Could this, and those dozens of videos that we have managed to compile, all be a montage? A simple manipulation? Or error of understanding? What do you think? Is this a simple visual trick? Or are we facing something much more difficult to explain? Number 4. In this position, we find some truly disconcerting footage. The recording of a tense situation that from one moment to the next takes a completely inexplicable turn. It all starts with an assault. An armed subject shoots at a man who is inside a car. The driver, seeing himself threatened, gets out in desperation and begins to run between the parked cars, trying to escape. What was later captured continues to leave everyone with their mouths open. after passing by a couple of vehicles, and inexplicably, a second man appears identical to him, running in the same direction, as if he had been cloned. What do you think occurred here? A possible logical explanation is that by mere coincidence another man with the same clothing and physical characteristics was in the area, and upon seeing the chase, he also decided to flee for fear of being in the middle of the conflict, ultimately everything being the product of an incredible coincidence. Another theory suggests that the quality of the camera and the reflections of the cars created an optical illusion, creating the impression that there were two people when in reality there was only one. However, this explanation falls apart as a result of the reaction of the criminal who literally does not know which of the two to follow. But on the other hand, and already entering the paranormal, what if it wasn't a coincidence? Could it be that in a moment of extreme danger, the man's etheric body separated from his physical form to help him escape? An inexplicable manifestation of survival, a doubling that completely baffled the attacker. This footage, without a doubt, attracts a lot of attention. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Number 3. This clip has had many views on Instagram due to how strange it turns out to be. It's not scary in itself, but it is disconcerting. When you see it, you will understand why.
Oye, está bien rara esta weá. ¿Cachai que este mástil se está moviendo endemoniadamente? ¿Escuchan? Y yo estoy acá, no corre viento, miren los árboles. Corre una brisa, pero no corre viento. Miren cómo se mueve esto.
As seen in the image, the man shows his surroundings and makes it clear there is no wind. The trees around him remain completely still, without a single moving leaf. So why does he move like that? In the comments, some try to find a logical explanation. There's talk of magnetic resonance imaging, of a small earthquake. But if that were the case, other objects should also be moving, and nothing similar is observed in the video. So here the big question arises. What is causing this phenomena? Could it be an individual force manipulating the mast? Something that we cannot see, but that can interact with our world? Leave your opinion in the comments and tell me what explanation you give to this strange recording. While we move on to the next position in our collection. Number 2. What you're about to see has been the topic of debate in many forums related to the paranormal, a footage that at first glance could seem insignificant, but when analyzed in detail, leaves many doubts up in the air. It all happens during an online conversation between two spiritualists. The woman you see in the image spoke completely normally, without noticing anything strange in her surroundings, but her partner on the other side of the screen sees something that catches his attention, a strange smoke trail that should not be there.
Lo tenía allá y lo saqué de ahí porque dije ya, estoy viendo el humo, me estoy...
No, una luz. Primero pasó de acá para allá y ahora pasó de aquí para acá.
Bueno, yo el otro día de verdad, mira, así como si fuera mi cuarzo, como si fuera pero como una nube, como un humo, hizo así. Y yo empecé, de ahí que la Mabel me dice, yo le digo, ¿qué viste, buena? Me dijo, te vi aletear. Y yo, ¡ay! ¡Escucha tu madre!
¿Viste? ¿Te diste cuenta?
¡Ay! ¡Me asusté!
¿Oíste?
Sí.
Ya. La otra fue mucho más grande y fue fugaz.
a kind of whitish, semi-transparent cloud passes behind her. At first, she doesn't notice, but when her partner mentions what he saw, they both begin to analyze the situation. Just as that moment, the strange cloud appears again, and this time, the woman sees it with her own eyes, reacting with obvious fear. Of course, comments on networks have tried to clarify the situation. While some suggest it may have simply been suspended dust illuminated by light, others mention the possibility of lint floating near the camera lens. There is even talk of a simple transmission failure that could have distorted the image. The curious thing is that they were spiritualists, and both were completely scared and worried when they apparently saw a real spirit. However, what is disturbing here is the woman's reaction. She doesn't seem to be someone who was expecting a scare or looking to generate a viral moment. Her fear is completely authentic. Could it be a manifestation from another plane? Or maybe a spirit that wanted to be present right at that moment? Questions that to this day have not been able to be resolved. Number 1. We finish this collection with one of the most disconcerting footage that have been published in recent times. A video that leaves more questions than answers, and that to this day remains a complete mystery. An occurrence that develops in the middle of the night, when a visibly upset man leaves his house due to annoying noises coming from the trees behind his home. Noises so loud that he decided to take his camera and flashlight to record what was happening. This is what his camera captured.
I hope you can hear this. It sounds like gorillas fighting in the tree. They're breaking limbs bigger around than me. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Bigger than me, whatever it is, because it's breaking limbs off that it would take me 2 minutes to saw. Look, that's bigger than me. Look at that! 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 What in Jesus' name is doing this? Oh my God! He just took half the tree down. Something! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, it's gotta be a, I don't even think a bear would have a chance in Hades, and they're doing this. It's something stronger than a bear. And he is pissed.
At first, you can only see slight movements in the treetops and strange sounds that seem to come from up there. However, at a key moment, a huge branch falls to the ground with a crash. It is then that the light of the flashlight illuminates how the branches of the trees begin to move violently, as if something or someone was up there, hidden in the shadows, trying to scare away the man who was recording. The strangest thing of all that is that despite the strong movement and the heartbreaking sound of creaking wood, the camera never captures the presence of any animal or person. This is where the speculation begins. Comments on networks have mentioned all kinds of theories. Some believe it could be a chupacabra, while others speak of a skinwalker, or even Bigfoot, creatures that, according to stories, live in the darkest corners of the forest and hide from human sight. But to this day, no one has been able to explain with certainty what really happened that night. What do you think was hidden in the tops of those trees? Leave your hypothesis in the comment box. because this video has come to an end. My name is Leonore Clay, and this was the darkest secret